Good afternoon everyone. Today we discuss the new topic, that is complex numbers and quadratic equation, which is chapter number 5 of your NCERT textbook, chapter number 5. So this is a continuation topic of your 10th or 9th class, that is quadratic equation, how to find quadratic equations based on the concept of quadratic equation. This is the continuation topic of that. So actually, if a quadratic equation is like ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, how to find roots like alpha and beta? How to find roots? So we have formula to find the roots of a quadratic equation, that is minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. Right? So by this you will get two roots. Nothing but quadratic equation is that much. We will get two roots. One is of plus root and the other one is of minus root. Right? Here in these roots, in this capital D, which is equal to b square minus 4ac. What is this? This we will consider as discriminant, right? This we will consider as discriminant. See, based on this D value, whether it is greater than 0 or less than 0 or equal to 0, based on that we will consider roots are real or imaginary and roots are equal or unequal. Based on this only we will consider, right? So that also you know. For example, D greater than 0, what is the case, and D equal to 0, what was the case, and D less than 0, what was the case. If whenever we get D is greater than 0, the roots are real and unequal. The roots are real and unequal, right? When D is greater than 0, real roots and unequal. Real roots are nothing but real numbers. Next, when D equal to 0, roots are real and equal. Roots are real and equal. But what about D less than 0? Nothing but b square minus c less than 0. Nothing but in this square root, if we get negative, what does it mean? It means they told that roots are imaginary. Roots are imaginary and unequal. See, this one you have learned in previous classes, that roots are imaginary and unequal. What do you mean by imaginary? Imaginary means not a real number, it is an imaginary number. But maths means everything should be derived, right? So in order to find that imaginary numbers, they have introduced a law which is based on the value iota. Based on the value iota. So this iota simply will represent with small I. So based on this, we will find they have found the imaginary number. They have given a value. So which is, for example, by using that, if we have x square plus 4 equal to 0. So this is a quadratic equation, right? So from this quadratic equation, what is x square? X square equal to minus 4. What is x? Plus or minus square root of minus 4. Plus or minus square root of minus 4. So do you know the value of minus 4? Square root of minus 4? So we don't have. So in order to find those numbers, they have introduced an imaginary number by representing with I. That is what they have given. I value is equal to square root of minus 1. That iota number is square root of minus 1. See, if you observe this, x is equal to plus or minus square root of root minus 4, we can write square root of minus I into square root of 4. So which gives x is equal to plus or minus root of square root of minus 1, that value is equal to I. Square root of 4 is nothing but 2. Nothing but plus or minus 2i. So x value is what we got, x equal to plus 2i and x is equal to minus 2i. So these are the two roots. Which roots these are? These are imaginary roots, imaginary numbers consisting. Is these roots are correct or not? How to check? See, as I value is equal to square root of minus 1. I value is equal to square root of minus 1. What is I square value? I square value, which is nothing but square root of minus 1 whole square, right? So square and root cancel, which gives minus 1. So if I value they have considered as minus square root of minus 1, I square value will be equal to minus 1, right? So that we need to substitute here. So in order to check whether we have got correct roots or not. So x equal to plus 2i, you substitute here. Plus 2i whole square plus 4 equal to 0. Here minus 2i, you substitute. Minus 2i whole square plus 4 equal to 0. So check here. 2 square 4 into I square, right? What is the value of I square? Minus 1. So minus 1 into 4 is minus 4 plus 4 equal to 0 or not? Satisfied. Next, minus whole square is plus, 2 square is 4. Again I square value minus 4 plus 4 equal to 0. Again this is also satisfied. So in order to find the discriminants which is less than 0, in order to find the roots of this quadratic equation, we will use this iota value in order to find the roots which are imaginary and also unequal. So now we will derive whether, so what do you mean by complex number from this? See, according to this you have understood the what do you mean by iota. So what was the value of iota? So I square value, and how to find roots of a quadratic equation which discriminant is less than 0. See, after that we will learn what is the complex number. Pause the video to note it down. So what is the form of a complex number? See, the complex number generally denoted with capital Z, which is equal to A plus IB. See, complex number is in this form, either in terms of A plus IB you can write, or X plus IY you can take, or C plus ID you can take, or P plus IP also you can take. Right? In any one of the form you can write, where represented with Z, which is equal to A plus IB form, where A is nothing but real part of Z. Here Z is a complex number. See, this A is nothing but real number, where A plus I into B. This B is nothing but imaginary part of Z. Why? Because complex number is nothing but combination of real number and also imaginary number. Complex number is a combination of real number and also imaginary number, where in this A plus IB form, A will consider as real part of Z. Why? Because combination of real number and also imaginary number, right? So this A will consider as real part of Z, will represent with REZ. This B, not I, this B will consider as imaginary part of Z. Understood? Here X is real part, Y is imaginary part. C is real part, D is imaginary part. P is real part, Q is imaginary part. See, if we consider Z1 is equal to A plus IB, and if we consider Z2 is equal to C plus ID, so I consider two complex numbers. If we add those both, Z1 plus Z2, what we get? See, A plus C or A plus IB plus C plus ID. So which results A plus C plus IB plus ID, right? So this is A plus C plus, from these two if we take I common, again what we get? B plus D. So which is in the form of real part, and this is in the form of imaginary part. So again this will get again complex number. See, complex number plus complex number again we will get in terms of A plus IB form or X plus IY form. So if we add two complex numbers, again we will get complex number only. Like that, if we subtract two complex numbers, again we will get complex number only. Like that, if we multiply or if we divide, again we will get complex number. See, did you remember that I value? I value is square root of minus 1. So this I also we can call, otherwise we can call as iota, which is a Greek word. So if I is square root of minus 1, what was the value of I square? I square is equal to minus 1. Why? Because whole square of square root of minus 1 will give, which is a minus 1. So these two values you need to remember. So after that we will learn the algebra of complex numbers. So what do you mean by algebra? Algebra is nothing but addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So this is the new concept, right? Complex numbers. So first of all we need to learn, so what are the properties which will satisfy for addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So pause the video to note it down. So we will discuss algebra of complex numbers. In that first one we will discuss about properties of addition of complex numbers. See, in those properties, so I will write in order wise that you need to remember. So first one is closure property. Next one is commutative. Next one is associative. So next one is existence of identity. Nothing but existence of additive identity when we are doing addition. No? So this is additive identity. Again, another property which we will discuss is existence of additive inverse. Additive inverse. See, first we will discuss about closure property. Closure property means here we are discussing about addition, right? In addition, if we take Z1 plus Z2, which also gives Z, right? So previously we have done. So if we add two complex numbers, again we will get complex number only. That means it satisfies closure property. Next, commutative property. See, might be about commutative and associative. Commutative means if Z1 plus Z2 is equal to Z2 plus Z1, then this property obeys commutative. If you take any two complex numbers, Z1 plus Z2, which is equal to Z2 plus Z1. So any real number. Why? Because in a real number system, natural number is also a real number, integer is also a real number, rational number is also a real number, irrational number is also a real number, right? So like that. So up to now, we know the biggest numbering system is real number, right? But more than that, complex number is the biggest number system and compared to real number. Why? Because every real number is a complex number, but every complex number is not a real number. For suppose I you take, that is not a real number, so that number is also when it comes to complex number. So we can convert any number in terms of complex number. As I said, complex number should be in terms of a plus ib. That means is 5 is a real number, we know. Is that real number can be write in terms of complex number? Yes, we can write that 5 we can write as 0, we can write as 5 plus 0i. So I value square root of minus 1. Anything it 0 will become 0. 5 plus 0 again will give us 5. So any number we can write in terms of complex number. So for example, if they given 2i, can we write in terms of complex number? So see, this is iota value. This iota value can be write in terms of complex number. Complex number means definitely it should be in the form of a plus ib. So 2i we can write as 0 plus 2i. So again it is in the form of, this is what real part, this is what 2 is we will consider as imaginary part. So any number, whether it may be imaginary number or real number, we can convert in terms of complex number. Next, when it comes to associative property. Associative property is nothing but Z1 plus Z2 plus Z3, which satisfies Z1 plus Z2 plus Z2. You can take any three complex numbers and you can check. Next, existence of additive identity. Existence of additive identity. Here identity means same. That means what if we add, we will get same number. That means for the Z, what if we add, we should get Z. Is that anything possible? Yes. If we add 0 plus 0i, nothing but if we add 0 to that complex number, again we will get that same number, right? So that means existence of additive identity is also possible in complex numbers. Next, existence of additive inverse. Additive inverse in the sense, so like this identity means same number we should get. Here additive inverse means what if we add, it will become 0. Complex number will become 0 in additions. So for that Z, if we add minus Z, surely it will become 0, right or not? Like for example, if we take Z is equal to 2 plus 3i, you take, what is minus Z? Simply you put minus of 2 plus 3i, which gives minus 2 minus 3i. Add both, Z plus of minus Z, you add both. So 2 plus 3i minus 2 minus 3i, so which is equal to 0, right? So that means existence of additive inverse is also possible in complex numbers. And after the addition, we will discuss about properties of subtraction. Properties of subtraction. So those are also same. Closure property, commutative, associative, existence of additive identity and additive inverse. Is closure property will obeys in subtraction? First one, it obeys or not? So Z1 minus Z2, which gives again complex number only, you can check. Next, commutative property, Z1 minus Z2 which is not equal to Z2 minus Z1. Remember, why? Because if you take 2 plus 3i as Z1, next 3 plus 2i as Z2, add these two, subtract these two, 2 plus 3i minus 3 minus 2i, nothing but 2 minus 3 is minus 1, 3i minus 2i is plus I. So if you do Z1 minus Z2, what we are getting? Minus 1 plus I we are getting. If we do Z2 minus Z1, what we will get? 3 minus 2 1, 2i minus 3i is minus I. Is minus 1 plus I is equal to 1 minus I? No. So in subtraction, commutative law or commutative property does not valid. Next, does not valid. Next, associative property also same. Z1 minus Z2 minus Z3 which is not equal to Z1 minus of Z2 minus Z3. Check kar. Why? Because Z1 minus Z2 minus 3. See, all will be in subtraction here. But here when it comes to Z1 minus Z2, minus into minus plus Z3. So it won't be equal. So associative property also fails in subtraction. Next, existence of additive identity. So here in additive identity, if we add, it should become same. In subtraction, if we subtract, it should become same. For that Z, if what we subtract, we will get that same number. Again, if we subtract 0, we will get that same identity. Right? Next, additive inverse. Here additive inverse means what if we add, we should get 0 minus Z. Here what if we subtract, we will get 0 Z minus. Again if we subtract Z, we will get 0. So these are the properties of complex numbers in terms of addition and subtraction. Next we will discuss about multiplication. Pause the video and note it down. Now properties of multiplication of complex numbers. Multiplication of complex numbers. So those properties are like again closure property, commutative, associative, existence of here multiplication of multiplicative identity and multiplicative inverse. Closure property means that multiplication again should give say that same, nothing but Z1 into Z2 is equal to Z only. If you multiply two complex numbers, again we will get complex number, right? Like if a plus ib is one real number, one complex number, another one c plus id is another complex number. If you multiply both, what we will get? You multiply a into c is ac plus a into id, nothing but I into ad plus ib into c, so ibc plus I into I square into b into d is bd, so which is equal to ac plus, if we take I common from these two, which will be AD plus BC. I square value we know, that is minus 1 into BD, which is, so we can write AC minus BD into square root of I into BC plus AD or AD plus BC. Again this is in the form of real part plus I into this is imaginary part. So that means multiplication of two complex numbers gives again a complex number. Next, commutative. Z1, Z2 which is also equal to Z2 into Z1. You can check considering any two complex numbers like 2 plus 3i, 5 plus 4i like that. Associate. Z1 into Z2 into Z3, which is also we can write as Z1 into Z2 into Z3. Next, existence of multiplicative identity. Multiplicative identity here in multiplication, that means what we multiply we will get same number. That means for the Z, what if we multiply we will get Z. So obviously 1, but 1 in terms of complex number we can write 1 plus 0. So Z into 1 is Z plus Z into 0 is nothing but 0. Nothing but Z is equal, this is equal to Z. That means existence of multiplicative identity is there. That is what? 1. Here, existence of multiplicative inverse. For multiplicative inverse, see in additive inverse, what if we add, we should get 0. But in multiplicative inverse, what if we multiply, it will become 0. It will become 1, sorry. So that is about the existence of multiplicative inverse. What if we multiply to this, we should get 1. So obviously it will be 1 by Z. Z cancel, we will get is equal to 1. So here multiplicative identity multiplicative identity of a complex number. Complex number is what? 1. Multiplicative inverse of a complex number is what? Is 1 by z. So this 1 by z we will consider as multiplicative inverse of z. So that 1 by z we can also write it as z inverse. 1 by z we can also write as z inverse. See, if z is equal to a plus ib, if z is equal to a plus ib, what is a multiplicative inverse? That multiplicative inverse is nothing but 1 by z, right? 1 by z, that 1 by z means 1 by a plus ib. 1 by a plus ib, z is a plus ib. See, if we do cross multiplication and multiply and divided with a minus ib, so which we will consider as conjugate number, which we will consider as conjugate of given complex number. See, for that conjugate, if z is equal to a plus ib, if z is equal to a plus ib, z bar is nothing but a minus ib, which we will consider as conjugate, which is conjugate. If a plus ib is a complex number, conjugate we will represent with z bar, which is equal to a minus ib. Here you need to remember how to write that conjugate of that complex number. Means for that imaginary number b, you need to put negative sign. If negative is there, it will become positive. Positive is there, it will become negative. For example, if z is equal to minus 3 plus 4a, then z bar is equal to, see, we should not disturb real number sign. Only we need to disturb the imaginary number. So this z bar will become minus 3 plus 4 will become minus 4a. So this is about conjugate number. If z is equal to minus 3 minus 4a, then conjugate number z bar is equal to minus 3 plus 4a. This real number we should not disturb. What we need to disturb is that imaginary number we need to disturb by changing the sign. Plus means minus, minus means plus. So with that, if we multiply and divide, what we will get? This is a minus ib divided by a plus ib into a minus ib. A plus ib into a minus ib. Actually, if it is a plus b into a minus b, so what is the actual formula? We know that a plus b into a minus b, which is a square minus b square, right? A plus b into a minus b, which gives a square minus b square. But when it comes to complex numbers, if we multiply two complex numbers in this form, like a plus b into a minus b, so here we will get a square plus b square, but not a square minus b square. See, why we will check? A plus ib into a minus ib. See, multiply karo here, a into a square, a into minus ib, so minus iab, plus ib into a, iab, plus into minus, minus I into I square, b into b, b square. These two will be cancelled, which is equal to a square minus I square value, you know, minus, minus into minus, again it will become plus b square. So whenever if we multiply like this, a plus ib into a minus ib, we have to write a square plus b square in complex numbers. If it is general form a plus b into a minus b, that is a square minus b square. So this is what z inverse. So they may ask one more questions. If 2 plus 3a, if z is equal to 2 plus 3a, find a multiplicative inverse. Find multiplicative inverse of this z. So what was the formula? Z inverse is equal to conjugate of this. If z equal to a plus ib, conjugate of this a minus ib. What is conjugate of 2 plus 3a? 2 minus 3a by a square plus b square. 2 square plus 3 square. 2 square 4, 4 plus 9, 13, which is equal to 2 by 13 plus I into minus 3 by 13. Again complex number form, right? So multiplicative inverse is also a complex number, right? So these are the properties about multiplication of complex numbers. Now we will discuss the properties of conjugate number. Conjugate. Pause the video to note it down. These are the properties of conjugates. Conjugate is nothing but if z is equal to a plus ib, that conjugate we will represent with z bar. So in that first property, z bar whole to the power of z bar, which is equal to z only. For example, if z is equal to a plus ib, what is z bar? Z bar means a minus ib. For that z bar, again if we do bar, nothing but conjugate of again to that conjugate, we will get a plus ib. Why? Because conjugate is nothing but again we need to put negative sign of b, which is minus is there, minus of minus we will get plus. That means z is equal to z bar of whole to the power of bar. So z bar whole bar is nothing but z only. Next, z bar plus z bar, we will get 2 times of real part of z. For example, if we add z bar plus z bar, sorry, here it is z plus z bar. If we add z plus z bar, so this is z, right? Z is equal to a plus ib. Z bar is a minus ib. If we add both z plus z bar, what we will get? A plus a, 2a plus ib minus ib cancel. So here what we are getting? 2a, nothing but 2 times of real part of z. Why? Because a we will consider as real part, b will consider as imaginary part. So z plus z bar, if we do, we will get 2 times of real part of z. Next, if z is equal to z bar, then a is purely real. Then z is purely real. Why? Why? Because if you take z is equal to z bar, like a plus ib is equal to a minus ib, then z is purely real. We will check. So here a plus a cancel. Here ib, this is minus ib. So ib plus ib, which is equal to 0. So which is 2 times of ib, which is equal to 0. So that means b is equal to 0. B is equal to 0. So in a complex number a plus ib, if b equal to 0, that means a plus I into 0, which gives only a. Only a means what? Purely real. Only a means purely real. So like that, z plus z bar is equal to 0, then z is purely imaginary. So let us check a plus z plus z bar. So a plus ib plus a minus ib, which is equal to 0. ib cancel. 2a equal to 0, nothing but a equal to 0. If a equal to 0 here, only it gives ib. Then that is nothing but purely imaginary. Remember, if z is equal to z bar, z is purely real. Purely real means what? Purely real means in that complex number. Purely real means only this part should exist, this will be 0. Purely real means b should be 0. Purely imaginary means a should be 0. So remember that condition. Next, fifth property, z into z bar is real part of z whole square plus imaginary part of z whole square. So already we have discussed z into z bar, a plus ib into a minus ib. Before that we have discussed that formula. A plus ib into a minus ib is a square plus b square, which is nothing but real part of z whole square plus imaginary part of z whole square. Again we have some more properties like z1 z2 bar, sorry, z1 z2 whole bar, which is nothing but z1 bar into z2 bar. Next, another one, z1 by z2 whole bar, which is equal to z1 bar by z2 bar. Next again, property number 8, z1 plus z2, for this both whole bar is equal to z1 bar plus z2 bar. And again in subtraction also, z1 minus z2 whole to the power bar is equal to z1 bar minus z2 bar. So these are the properties of conjugate. Next we will discuss power of I. See what may be the value of I value. I value we know, square root of minus 1. What is the value of I square? That is minus 1. So what may be the value of I cube, I power 4? So those all we will discuss now. Pause the video to note it down. So next, keep side heading, power of I. Power of I. So we know the I to the power of 1 value, that is square root of minus 1, right? Next, I square is equal to square root of minus 1 whole square, which gives minus 1. Next, I cube value. See how we can write I cube. I cube we can, so actually we don't know I cube value up to now, but I cube how we can write? We can write I square into I, right? I square into I. What is I square value? Minus 1. Minus 1 into I. So is minus I. So I cube value minus I. So I to the power of 4 value. I to the power of 4 how we can write? I square into I square we can write. What is I square value? Minus 1. Minus 1 into minus 1 which gives 1. Next, I to the power of 5. I to the power of 5 how we can write? I to the power of 4 into I we can write. What is the value of I to the power of 4? We know that is 1. 1 into I. Next, I to the power of 6 how we can write? I to the power of 6 we can write I to the power of 4 into I square we can write, or you can write I cube into I cube also, no problem. So I to the power of 4 value is 1. 1 into I square value minus 1. Minus 1 into 1 is minus 1. Next, I to the power of 7. I to the power of 7 we can write I to the power of 4 into I cube. So I to the power of 4 value 1. 1 into I cube value minus I. 1 into minus I is minus I. So again another value I to the power of 8. I to the power of 8 we can write I power 4 into I power 4. What is the value of I power 4? 1. 1 into 1 which is equal to 1. Here a logic is there. If we observe the first 4 values of iotas, if you observe first 4 values, nothing but I power 1, 2, 3, 4. Those values are, see this is nothing but I only. I minus 1 minus I 1. I minus 1 minus I 1. If you observe next 4, I minus 1 minus I 1. I minus 1 minus I 1. I minus 1 minus I 1. If you observe both are same. The sequence will repeat for an interval of 4 numbers, continuous numbers. Like you can tell easily next I power 9 value which is equal to I power 5. Next I power 10 which is equal to I power 6. Next I power 11 which is equal to I power 7 which is this is equal to I power 12. So here one thing you need to remember. For example, if they ask you to find I to the power of 396 value, I to the power of 396 value. See how to find those values. The power is there, na? That power you divide with 4. So 396 divided with 4. So you do calculation here. See this is 4 9s 36. Remainder 3, again this is 6. So again 4 9s 36. What was the remainder? Remainder is 0. If remainder is 0, that value is equal to 1. If remainder is 0, that value is equal to 1. If you do I power 397, if you do I power 397, again you divide with 397, right? 9 here we got 499s, 396, remainder 1. If remainder 1, what we need to take is that value is equal to 1. Like power 1. Remainder 1 is power 1. Power 1 value I. Next, I to the power of 398. Again you divide 4 here, 398, 99, 390, 96. Here remainder is 2. If remainder is 2 means you need to consider that is an I square. That value is equal to minus 1. Like that you need to find. See, okay, I will give a question that you find. For example, I to the power of 598 plus 1 by I to the power of 392. Simplify. See, another thing I need to tell. For example, I plus I value, so which is equal to 2i. If I plus 1 by I is there, then how to simplify that? See, actually you will do LCM, right? So I square plus 1. I square value minus 1. Minus 1 plus 1. How much? Minus 1 plus 1, 0. 0 by anything? 0. But if you want to find 1 by I value, how to find 1 by I value? See, why I told this 1 by I means, see, while simplifying this, if we get minus 1 IR, okay, no problem. If we get here 1 by I, while simplifying example I am telling, if we get 1 by I, what was the value of 1 by I? So we should not keep I in denominator. So what we need to do is, we need to do rationalizing with that same number I. So then it will be 1 into I which is equal to I. divided by I into I, which is I square minus 1, which is equal to minus I. So 1 by I value, so which is 1 by I value is equal to minus I. So that's why I plus 1 by is equal to 0. Remember always 1 by I value is minus I. So you simplify this, I to the power of 598 plus 1 by I to the power of 392, which is equal to that value you need to send through your comment in this video. See, remember easily, if remainder is 0, what was that value? Value is equal to 1. If remainder is 1, that value is equal to I. If remainder is 2, that value is equal to minus 1. If remainder is 3, that value is equal to minus I. So whatever it may be the value, we divide with 4. So based on that remainder, so we can write that value, that entire value in very easy manner. So pause the video to note it down. So this answer you send through comment. Now we will discuss square root of negative real numbers. Square root of negative real numbers. See, first suppose you know the formula of square root of a into square root of b. See, if any numbers, any real numbers in the form of square root of a into square root of b, you might have learned the formula is square root of ab, right? Square root of a into square root of b, which will be equal to square root of ab. In which cases this is possible? In which cases this is possible means if a greater than 0 and b greater than 0, it is possible. Next, if a less than 0 and b greater than 0, it satisfies, and a greater than 0 and b less than 0, again it is satisfies. So the cases are both are positive, satisfies. One negative, one positive, one positive, one negative also satisfies. But when it comes to a negative and b negative, so this case won't satisfies. That means if it is square root of minus a into square root of minus b, this is not equal to square root of minus a minus b. So this is false. Why? Because square root of minus 1 into square root of minus 1. So we cannot write like square root of minus 1 into square root minus 1. So actually this formula gives minus 1 into minus 1 is equal to, so minus 1 whole square is 1, so which is equal to 1. That means according to that formula it is spelling square root of minus 1 into square root of minus 1 is equal to 1. But it is wrong. Why? Because what is the value of square root of minus 1? I. Here also square root of minus 1 I. What is I into I? I square. What is the value of I square? Minus 1, but not equal to 1. So this formula will satisfy only in these three conditions: when both are less than 0 or when both a and b are negative, this formula won't satisfy. So if both are negative, we need to consider like this. See, for example, if it is square root of minus 4 into square root of minus 2, you take. See, how to simplify this is, see, minus 4, see, minus root 4 we can write as minus 1 into root 4. So minus root we can write minus 1 into root 2. So this is square root of minus 1 value I, this value I into I square value minus 1. So root 4 into root 2. So this is minus of root 4 into root 2 we can write as 8. Why? Because if both are positive we can write. That means when a and b are both are negative, square root of a into square root of b will be square root of minus ab. When if a less than 0 and b less than 0. In remaining cases, this will be possible. Pause the video to note it down. Next we will discuss some of the identities which will be useful to simplify the problems in exercise 5.1. So those identities are nothing but formulas. So that I will write, you copy, and if you have doubt you can check by using substituting any two complex numbers. See, those identities are in the first one, like z1 plus z2 whole square, as like a plus b whole square. The formula is z1 square plus z2 square plus 2z1 z2. Next, z1 minus z2 whole square is equal to z1 square minus z2 square, sorry, plus z2 square minus 2z1 z2. Next, the third one, z1 plus z2 whole cube, which is equal to, like a plus b whole cube formula, this is z1 cube plus z2 cube plus 3z1 z2 into z1 plus z2. Next, if it is z1 minus z2 whole cube, so this will be z1 cube minus z2 cube minus 3z1 z2 into z1 minus z2. So this is the formula for z1 minus z2 whole cube. Another formula, if it is z1 square minus z2 square, z1 square minus z2 square, so the formula of this is z1 plus z2 into z1 minus z2, right? But you remember that z1 into z2, like z into z bar, which is equal to real part of z whole square plus imaginary part of z whole square. That also I will do. So z into z bar is equal to real part of z whole square plus imaginary part of z whole square. So these are the some of the identities which will be useful to solve the first exercise. The total exercise 5.1 you need to solve by yourself. I will send a PDF copy. So solve karo, and if you have any doubts you can raise in WhatsApp group. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Have a nice day.